Welcome everybody to our group call for the 10th of August. Hope you've all had a fantastic weekend and and had a good week behind us. I know we were a little bit disappointed with the game plan last week, which we'll cover in a moment, but we'll also look at some of the results for some of our individual strategies that were run, as well as some manual trading from our members. So let's jump into that and see what that looks like. What has been accomplished over there. Okay, so first of all, we have our member results. So very nicely shared by the guys constantly sharing their results in there. So we might just actually have a look through some of these. They are publicly shared on our Discord channel. We have, I think over the last 6 or 7 months, we have had these results publicly shared. So a few of the members have agreed to, share public results. Not many people really like to share publicly, especially, it's a bit of a intrusion on their privacy, I guess. But, some people have chosen to share results in here, and, it's really great. I think it's really great that, people can use this to see what the system can do, and can also see, what different templates are shared, as well as, confirmation from members that, the system is working. So we can actually look at a few of those right now. So I'm going to switch over to my screen sharing, and I might just deactivate my camera temporarily. Okay, so it's quite informative. So, really putting in effort there, guys. So thank you, Christopher, especially, and Bruce, for constantly putting in your results in there. And it's quite detailed too. So you're putting in your exact screenshots of your strategies in action of your workspace. And I know you've also gone and done some live sharing, and you've created a few YouTube videos of your own live trading. And that's also something that I would like to be concentrating more on in the near future. But a good workspace you have over here. I can see that you've got some signal charts on the go. So you've got your signal charts running. And I bet this also is used to determine, when you might start or stop your strategies, or even choosing your direction bias. So, very, very handy in that regard. And you've put in your results over there. So really awesome. And what I also came across, so also this is some manual trading. I see this is Bruce sharing his, manual trading using one of the signal charts. And I see he's also used a different type of, well, not a different type, a different size bar type. So the signal charts that we have, they can really be adjusted to show or to use different bar types. So I've given some good examples of this in the templates or the workspaces that I've created. And this is just definitely this is one of the sizes that we worked with before, which is basically a 2060 bar. So again, we're working with guaranteed price levels. As you can see, it's very fluid. You're not looking, if this was a minute bar chart, there'll be all different size wicks and candles all over the place. Whereas this, it's very, very clear. And we've got our Fibonacci levels in play. We can see the highs, the lows. We can see the main areas of interest in the market. So very, very clear. We've got our divergences based on price reversals over there. And again, all of these arrows that you're seeing over here, they plot the moment that bar closes. So as an example, if the moment that this bar closes, like the instant that it closes, at the very beginning of this bar, this arrow is going to draw. So you're not seeing any repaints on any of these type of signals. And the same thing with our brick walls. So our brick walls actually start at the beginning of a candle creation. So some of you watching this in real time, you will actually see these little dots form at the beginning of a bar. So it's already showing you precisely where the institutional, and this is from the SI indicator, which is the indicator that works with quite a few of our strategies, and it's basically, the SI stands for stop identifier. So it's our brick wall indicator. It's identifying areas in the market where stops are being hunted also, and also areas where the price is going to react from. So you can see there's a lot of that taking place over here, these brick walls forming. And then when they decide they want to take an action, like over there, they suck people in, pull people out, stop hunting over there, and then, coming back down again. So, we have this type of thing constantly happening. So, they'll move the price down, take out stops, bounce the price around an area. And when they're satisfied that they've got enough positions, enough orders in their wake, they can basically run the price up to the next area until they reverse. And, all the while, we've still got all our Fibonacci levels in play. We've got a lot of things in play. So there's a lot to be learned about a chart like this. And, here's a good example too of the divergence arrows in play, but then you have an SI brick wall below that price. So, and you also have Fibonacci levels. So it's a lot of things that really help you decide what's happening on a chart. And I can see long orders taken. I can see some good orders taken over there. So this is some manual trading on this specific chart. And even in real time, as the price was going, you had a breakout volume marker left behind over there with an arrow. I mean, that is like an absolute gold mine to enter positions from. There we had a breakout volume marker left behind, small scalping trade. So yeah, it's really nice sharing your chart. So thank you for doing that. And then I also see you've shared a very nice little summary of your trading week. So that's extremely awesome too, because you get all your days of the week, and what you're basically doing is you're managing your setup, right? So you're keeping records of everything. You're managing how your strategies are performing, how your manual trading is performing. So this is your discretionary trading over here, your manual trading on your signal charts. And this is our game plan. So you've really put a lot of things in play here, which helps you, manage your performance and see where you're going. I mean, at the end of the day, you want to be able to determine where your strengths and weaknesses are, whether it's with strategies, discretionary trading, game plan, and sometimes you will have weeks where your discretionary trading is bad and your game plan is good and your automated trading is good. So it's really good to monitor and review this type of thing regularly. And I encourage everybody to create something similar. I'm sure Bruce wouldn't mind sharing a blank Excel, sheet just with like these columns, and you can basically create this yourself. I mean, a lot of people will be able to use something like this. And if you can track your daily performance with everything that you're running, what an absolute pleasure that would be, because you can actually track, what you're doing effectively. Okay, so continuing over there, there's a bit of chat in there. What happened here? Yeah, I had a bit of a whinge this week because I had a few people drop off. Not because it really bothers me. It's just that, I mean, sometimes you have people that come in that might not be right for the DTB system, take a few losses, and then they move on. So that's just pretty normal. It's how life is. And continuing sharing results. So the great thing is that results are shared, the system works, and even though some parts of the system may not be effective, like the game plan, I must admit, I did let you guys down this last week with the game plan. And it was the US session that basically failed because it wasn't really monitored by myself, which is again, an issue on my side. No excuses. The strategies work. It's just, the templates that I created last week were not as effective as they should have been. So that is, what happened over there. So let's have a look. What did I put together for our game plan? Yeah, so I mean, I also had a bit of an issue with my connection. I don't know why this has happened, but I basically came to my computer after many hours away and, saw this. I mean, I don't know why this happens, but we basically had a connection issue over here where it shows connected, but I got red light. So I don't know, there's definitely some bugs and stuff in the back end of the system where, I'm still constantly trying to develop something that can alert us when these connection issues happen. But yeah, it wasn't a good week at all with our game plan. But, we're carrying on. So, this week, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be focusing on the same strategy that most of our users who've been focusing on this strategy. So the baseline wick trader strategy that we've been using, that's been around for quite some time now, a few years, many years. And this is a strategy that the guys are using very, very consistently in their trading. So what I've done this week is I've put together a template structure for the baseline wick trader. And what this one is going to be doing is it's going to be focusing on a different time of the day that the main templates are being used for. So if I go to my strategy settings, you will see that these specific templates are going to run from 9 p.m. New York till 8 a.m. So we're avoiding the very busy session of the US. I know last week there was a lot happening in the US, and it was a bit of a crazy week. It really needed to be managed and watched. So that was the main thing last week. So this week, what we're doing is we're just using the quieter time of the session. We still have a very good possibility and chance of these strategies doing well this week because we're focusing on optimized periods, optimization for periods, based on historical performance. And again, these are going to be updated in real time. So you're going to notice that settings are going to be changing throughout the week, and there's going to be updates made to the templates without you guys having to do anything. So constantly just monitor your performance. If you can just take screenshots every day of your progress, you don't have to refresh the charts at all. So if you want to let these strategies run the entire week, you don't have to touch them at all. Because your performance is going to be showing on the chart, and every single day, the settings, if they need to be updated, they'll be updated on the back end and automatically pushed through to your strategy. So you may see different setting A and B in your buttons over here. These are just visual buttons. You're not really able to click on them. So just you'll see that these values may change during the week. And all you have to do is monitor your net profits and strategy enabled, and that will update you with the latest performance results of that strategy. Okay, so those are the 4 templates this week. All of them are trading between 9 p.m. and 8 a.m. You'll see on the top of the chart, it even says that over there, 9 p.m. to 8 p.m., 9 p.m. to 8 a.m. All of them are trading the same. So and the reason why I chose this is because at the present time, I am personally monitoring and updating the settings. So I'm not having anybody else do them at this stage. And obviously, it's the times of the day that I can be doing that. Because obviously, as it comes to 8:30, 9 a.m. New York time, it's like 11:30 midnight, and over here where I am. So I can't really manage the strategies during the US session, which is not a problem because that is something that we are working towards. And I've actually been creating on the back end a system where it just works with mouse clicks, because all we have to do is run the optimizations. So I have already created a system on the back end. I haven't released it yet, but it's a way of just letting the optimizations run, and those settings that the optimization produces automatically get updated to the strategy just by running the strategy analyzer. So I've actually created some mouse clicking events. There's like these hotkey type of things that you can create on your computer where you can click a mouse button at certain parts of the screen every X amount of minutes. Well, I've already created that can automatically do strategy optimizations. So I'm just busy fine-tuning that. And hopefully I can get this entire system, back-end system, actually completely automated in the very, very near future. Obviously, I've got a lot of NinjaTrader limitations with the strategy analyzer. It doesn't work quite well enough for what I needed to do. So I've got a few things to work around that. But apart from that, we're gonna see some huge improvements coming to the DTB system as we go along. And I'm very excited about that. So constantly, as you guys know, I'm constantly working on the back end. I haven't released a new update for the last at least 3 weeks. I think the last update was the 27th of July. And that's because what I'm working on in the back end is a lot of facets to it, and it kind of connects to everything. So it's very hard to release an update when all the components are not created. So basically creating an entire optimization engine that is going to make life very, very exciting and amazing for the DTB community. Apart from that, a few other things I'm working on, a few other little tools, and yeah, just making sure that the users get the very best out of the DTB system. We're also going to be working on some different pathways for members to use. So some people might come in for automated trading, some people might come in for manual trading. So I'm trying to create the learning and the education around those very specific, detailed segments of people's trading styles, so that they can jump into the DTB system and get the best support they need and hit the ground running. As I mentioned on last week's call, we're living in a very complicated, difficult, manipulated world. And if I can make it as simple as possible for people to understand the market and understand how to and when to enter positions and understand price, it's going to be really beneficial. Guys, that's a nice short call for today. I look forward to seeing what our game plan can do for the week ahead. Please continually post your results in the game plan chat, in the results chat, and I'll do the same. And we'll keep fighting on. Thank you, guys. Have a fantastic week. And we'll be same place, same time next week. Thank you.